You ready to eat? Alright, here we go. Oxtail cooking time. I'm gonna go ahead. I already heated the pot. I don't have it on too high. I have my beans cooking, but I think I'm gonna transfer it to a bigger pot. It's too small. So I'm gonna put a little bit of grease in there, just a little bit. It's olive oil. This is the meat marinated overnight on the video before this. So I'm gonna take the pieces and put it in. I'm gonna use 2 pots. I'm gonna actually use this pot as well, because you don't want to overcrowd the pot. There's a little bit of water in there, so that's the oil. And then I'm gonna put the rest in this pot. Okay. And I'm gonna save all of the juices marinate. I'll pour that back in once the oxtail is brown. Okay, so I'm gonna brown the oxtails. I had a lot. This is like 3, almost 4 pounds, 3.5. So I'm gonna use 2 pots. And I'm gonna go ahead and brown the oxtail using both pots because I don't want to crowd the pot with the oxtails. Then it's not gonna actually cook um, that well. So I split it up with 2 pans, and then I'm gonna combine it all in one. Right now, I have rice and peas boiling. Well, actually, just the peas. I'm sorry, just the peas boiling with onions, and garlic. I put some thyme in there, and then let the peas cook for a second before I start putting the coconut milk. I'm gonna actually transfer it to a bigger pot, but for right now, I just have the peas on. So right now, I'm gonna go ahead and take out the oxtails and add in the leftover marinade onions that I had in the bowl. I'm going to saute those onions. I took the scotch bonnet out because I don't want it to be too spicy. I'm going to put it back in later. So what I'm going to do now is just add some onions, some scallions, that good old seasoning, because you know when you put water, you got to keep seasoning. This is the Caribbean island style seasoning. Again, I'm using both of them, the all-purpose and the veggie blend. I just put a little bit of ketchup. Us Jamaicans, we love ketchup. So I put a little bit of ketchup for flavor, sugar, that extra sugar. So now what I'm gonna do is put the oxtails back in the pot. I'm gonna put all oxtails back in there. And then I'm gonna actually add the juice that's left over. I want to get all of the good seasoning in that pot. So I'm gonna add some water in there and loosen it up so I can add that to my main pot of oxtail. Oh my goodness, I wish you guys could smell this. It smells so good, and it's not even all the way done yet, and I can already smell the kitchen is hot. Whew. So I'm taking the rest of this juice marinade, yes, and I'm putting it in the pot along with the water I added, because you want to add the water close to the top of the pot and stir it a little bit. Then you're going to go ahead and put the top on there, and oh, can't forget the seasoning because I added water. I'm adding some black pepper as well and a little bit of salt. And then put the Scotch bonnet back inside the pot, close it up. Let it cook for another 30 minutes. So the coconut milk, I'm ready to put in my peas. I transferred it to the new pot, and the peas are fairly cooked. I don't want it to be mushy, so this is the time when you add your coconut milk, and you're gonna go ahead and stir that up. You have to multitask. You got to cook everything on one pot. So while the oxtails is cooking, I got my rice going. That's the coconut milk in there. I have some thyme, bay leaf, some onions I had put earlier. Put a little bit of sugar to make it sweet, nice and sweet. Rice and peas. Stir it up. And that's just to get it going. Then I'm going to have to rinse and wash some rice. So I did about 2 cups of rice, and then later in the video I had to do another cup because I have more peas than rice. So I like jasmine rice, that's what I use normally, and I wash my rice about 2 to 3 times. You just want to make sure that it becomes clear when you pour the water out. So I'm just showing you the cup I'm putting it in. I actually put it in a bigger bowl because when I rinsed it out, I didn't have enough room. So I used a bigger bowl, rinse my rice out, and I had to show you, I'm going to show you the bowl that I use, but you can use any bowl, but I had to rinse it 3 times actually. So the water looks cloudy, that means it needs to be washed again. So you have to make sure you wash your rice because you don't want all that in your rice. You don't want it to be mushy, so you want to make sure you wash all of that off, all that starch off. So here I am washing my rice again. Oh my goodness, it smells so good. Whew. And it's making my kitchen hot. That's the only thing. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and I'm adding my rice to the peas. And it's going to cook in there all together. And make sure I get everything. Stir it up. Make sure that you like and subscribe and comment below for this video, and also click on the bell indicator. I'm going to have more videos coming up with different types of Jamaican food. Next, I might do some curry goats. I'm going to feed this curry chicken. And I know what may I do. And I know which one. If you have a specialty, let me know. This is me adding some more rice because I realized that the peas was more than the rice. I had to wash some more rice and add it. So we did that. I also want to make ackee and saltfish, so I might do that too next. But we'll go ahead and stir the rice up, and we're gonna put the lid back on there. Um, if you have too much water, it's normally like an inch, maybe half an inch. You have to see your rice. So I had too much. I had to take some out because I don't want it to be mushy. So I see the consistency. And then add some more black pepper, a little bit more salt. Stir it up. Close look. So that's why you can see your peas and your rice. I have some scallions in there, thyme, bay leaf, some onions, and some ginger. Ginger helps with the beans, with the gas from the beans. All right, I have my oxtail. I'm stirring it up, and I'm gonna go ahead and add some of my Caribbean seasoning, all-purpose seasoning, because I'm gonna be adding some more water. And that's all it is about oxtail. You just have to make sure you just keep your eye on it and add the water. Bring it back to a boil because you want your meat to be tender. So I'm adding the water, stirring it up, covering it back up, and let it marinate. Alright, so rice and peas. I add a little bit of butter, and it looked good. It looked good. This is what I want. And then you turn your stove. You turn the stove off or low, and just let it steam. I put the aluminum foil. I like to do this just to let it steam. And let's check the oxtails. Woo, so good. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and just cut some cabbage up because I'm going to make cabbage with my rice and peas and oxtails. So this is like a whole head of cabbage. And I'm cutting this up. I'll put it into a bowl and then wash my cabbage once I finish cutting it. So I remember working on a food truck, and we had to, or the restaurant, JMC for life. We had to cook cabbage and whatever I needed help with, I was there to cut. So that's something I'm used to doing, along with my Auntie Jeannie, and my dad, and my cousin Golds. So this is a family thing. We all do a family thing. I learned all them something there from them. But anyways, so my cabbage is cut up and washed. I'll go ahead and put 2 teaspoons of butter. A teaspoon, that look like tablespoon. Something, little bit. Butter. Everything good with butter. If you want to add more butter, you can. So my cabbage is already washed. This is how the Jamaican people do it. Put some garlic in there. Normally, American style. There's nothing wrong with that. But you guys boil your cabbage. We pan sear it, pan fry it, or whatever you want to call it, saute it. But this is what I am used to. So I'm gonna put some garlic in there. This is the garlic that you can get, that you refrigerate. I do have fresh garlic, but the minced garlic, I just use that. With some butter. And now we're going to add the cabbage that has been washed. The garlic butter just smells so good. You can actually make garlic butter and put it in the refrigerator or freeze it, and then just use it anytime you need to. I went ahead and added some onions. And now we're just going to stir up a little bit of the onions with the garlic. And then go ahead and add the cabbage. I had already pre-washed the cabbage. All right, we can go ahead and add that in there. Looking good so far. And you just want to stir it up a little bit to get it started. It starts to wilt down just like any other vegetable. When you cook it, it starts to wilt down. So then it will become um, just smaller pieces. I'm just making a mess. I'm dropping stuff everywhere. And just stir it up. I don't like those big pieces, so I'm throwing those out if I see them. Or the cabbage when you cut it up. So that's done. And then now I'm going to season again. Ooh, I'm going to use my veggie blend this time. The Caribbean island style seasoning. You got to get it. It's going to be on a link below my page to order. Let me know if you need some. Make your food taste good. Black pepper. And I'm going to use some salt. I use pink salt. I use a little bit of onion powder. And then you can season how you want to for flavor. This is just the stuff that I use. And I'm going to use my Adobe seasoning. You can use this on anything. So then after that, I'm going to go ahead and just stir that up. Just doing a flip my wrist action. Make sure everything is even. I don't know. I just love cabbage. I love vegetables. Anything sauteed. You know, you got to have your vegetables with your food. It's healthy. So, just a great thing to add to your food. So now I've flipped that and stirred that up. We got to add some things to this cabbage. It's just not done yet. So we're going to add a little bit of vinegar. I think that was like, I would like use apple cider vinegar. I think that was a tablespoon, I want to say. This is all for taste. So we're going to go ahead and stir that up. We got to add some more things to this cabbage. We're just not done yet. We're not done yet. We're not done yet. I'm going to add a little bit more of my veggie blend seasoning because it just tastes so good. You have to have everything taste good, seasoned. I mean, I like the cabbage. Just, you know, I'm not taste. Me can't eat that. Me need taste, flavor. It must something there. I'm not seasoning. And I don't understand why people can't. The people don't use seasoning. Me can't understand that. Me need flavor in my food. Yes, my dear. So I'm gonna add some more butter. That's about 3 teaspoon. It might look like tablespoon. I don't know. You know, us Jamaicans, we just put stuff in there. We don't measure nothing. So I'm gonna mix vegetables. Learn how to make cabbage from my cousin. It's not her cabbage. It not taste the same as JMC, but guess what? It'll do. We can't get it just like hers, but you know, we try. It tastes good all the same. So I'm putting the mixed vegetables in there, mixing it up. Mix it up, mix it up. You can put whatever you want in your cabbage. This is what I put, what I'm used to, what I like to eat. But you can add any other vegetables if you want. This is just the Jamaican style. I got a little pepper. It's like a little Scotch bonnet pepper. that I use. I just been hooked on this sauce. I put pepper on my food, so I just put a little bit because I've always been on kids. Them not like pepper like me, so I can't add too much pepper. But pepper to taste, and then when I eat my food, I can put some more pepper on it. So I just put a little bit. All right, so I'm cooking down the cabbage. We're gonna let that cook some down to stir it up. All right, and we're gonna let that cook. Rice and peas is cooking. The oxtails cooking. All right, let's check the oxtail now. Woo, it smells good. This smells good. Not tender. So I'm just checking the meat to see if it's falling off the bone or tender. It's not. So I'm gonna let it cook some more. We're almost done. We can't wait. It smells good. My husband are weird. My kids are weird for the food. But I know what may I cook next. We need to cook something next. Maybe curry goat, curry chicken. So I'm adding some water. It's a whole process thing when y'all cook oxtail. Y'all have to add water. It's a long process, but about 1.5 to 2 hours if you're cooking on the stove top. If you have a pressure cooker, 45 minutes. It not take long. Not for my pressure cooker. We can't take this no more. The oxtail almost ready. We're ready to eat. I'm going to show you what it looks like. Me ready. Me say me ready to eat, you know. So this what it look like. Hold up, let me see. So far so good. Got the rice and peas ready. Steam. The cabbage ready. And the oxtail almost ready. Yeah, man. What you say? We have to add the butter beans and the carrots. Almost. Y'all already know. Me ready to eat. Man, I know about you. Me ready. Me ready to eat. Yeah, man. Greedy gal. That's me. Greedy gal. Hey, me ready. Okay, we almost done. The butter beans is going in. I'm gonna go ahead and rinse that off and open up my butter bean from Grace. I'm gonna pour a little bit out. Some people put it in there with the juice. Some people drain it all the way. I'm just draining a little bit just to get for the flavor, the taste. I'm gonna go ahead and put in my butter beans. As you can see, the water reduced down. So we have to go ahead and add some more water probably. But I'm going to put the butter beans in there. Let's see how that is before I add any water. Mix that up. And once that is done, then the oxtails will be done. I'm going to go ahead and put in some carrots, scallions, green peppers, and I like to put tomatoes. I just like the taste of tomatoes. So I'm going to put all of that in there and let it cook down. Stir that up. Let it cook and simmer. And put the top back on there. Don't forget the seasoning. I'm going to put my allspice. The more water I put, again, I have to put the seasoning. Stir that up. And then we're going to put the top back on there. Add a little bit more water. Put the top back on there for another 15 minutes. Maybe 30. It'll be done. Maybe 15. All right.